They had a lookalike contest. They had a whole lookalike contest, and bro, they had posters up talking
Mm-hmm.
about if you look like this guy, come to this contest, you can win $50.
Yeah.
And people showed up.
Mm-hmm.
There was
Yep.
the one guy won, and he was like, you had to come dressed like the guy was dressed because they got
Yeah.
a picture
They got a
of
picture
the
of him
assassin.
at a count on at a counter or
And
something
and
like
the
that.
dude was like, I wear this all the time, and so I didn't have to do much. I look like him, and I wear this
Mm,
all the time. I'm
mm.
like, was this contest set up by the people you think? I'm like, who said that? I'm
It
like,
kind of
low
it
key.
kind
If
of
I'm
kind of
FBI,
felt
I'm
like that.
like,
Kind of felt like that. Uh,
I like that idea going
mm,
for. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
but like, really,
Kind
I'd
of
be
felt
like,
like
this
that.
guy assassinates somebody. He'd be like, oh, looking like contest. I know I can win this.
That's insane, bro.
I think I got a chance. That's a $50.
Yo, that's bro.
Yo, this fool get away with a whole assassination and then come in just for the $50
Just
contest
for the bro, that
and get
is
caught. How'd you get me? How'd you
bro,
know?
that is wicked, bro. That is wickedness of the highest order.
Bro, why would you sign up? Dog? Darwin.
What are you doing here?
It's challenge day.
Challenge it, y'all. What's popping?
It's
Season
really good.
5, episode 7. Yeah, episode 7. This is Challenge Day, y'all. Once again, we got some hot stuff to give y'all. We want to be able to inform you on what's been going on, Capitol Hill, in the
In the
streets,
world,
in the
y'all don't be
world.
keeping up with the news, so we do it. We
Yeah,
do the homework for you. You're welcome.
yeah, cause we know y'all don't like to read, so we
Mhm.
go we gonna help you out and do y'all solid. And jumping into it, uh, at another challenge day, man. That's our social media handle. You can find us on every social media platform you like to frequent. Again, that's at another challenge day. You'll see in the banner. I
Make sure you
am
smash that like button. Just do it now. Get it out the
Oh,
way.
yeah, for real. So you can be
Get it out the
notified of
way.
everything when
Yeah.
we drop clips, videos, we drop shorts. You'll be notified about all of that, and obviously our full episodes. So check us out, man. Like, comment, subscribe. We appreciate y'all. And comment on whatever you want to comment on. We talk back. All right. So next thing. Oh, I'm your host Jeff, not Jeffrey. That's bro, Darn Darko. Yeah, that's us, man. That's also probably gonna be in the banner. It's usually in the banner. You'll see it. But let's jump right into the show. Mass count, bro. What you got for us?
We left off at 465 last go round. We are at 479
Mm-hmm.
now. And it's only been a couple weeks. But this latest incident was in Illinois. It's like out right outside of Chicago. Place called Cicero. Cicero.
Like I've heard that
This is
before.
the fourth district of Illinois, and looks like there was what is it, one killed. I
Mm,
think one person killed, six injured.
mm-hmm.
Where is this thing? Yep. Apparently there was some. Was it like a? It was like shots fired from chasing car at fleeing car.
Mm,
So car to car action,
mm-hmm.
up and down the street, I guess, and killing people. Three people injured. Yeah, three. Yeah, so six people injured, and I guess those will be in the hospital right now. But the congressperson for that district is Jesus Garcia. He's a Democrat. This
Mm.
is a predominantly Latino and immigrant working class community. Um, and you know, this is just more fodder for what the Republicans say. Hey, these Democrat run cities, you know what I mean, letting people
Yep.
run wild and loose with the crime.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and crime is generally down and over across the country. Its trajectory's been down, been going down for 20 years now.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't tell somebody that's right there, that's in that neighborhood right there. You know, what I mean, you can't tell. Hey, I
Can't
just
tell
saw
them
this
that.
dude
Yeah.
get gunned down street to street, like car to car kind of
Mm-hmm.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, people feel in the local effects. So for your local, your local guy to get on his case is Jesus Garcia. I think he just got reelected to won by like a landslide. So
Mm.
seems to be an incumbent. Y'all might want to either primary him next time. You know what I mean, or get on his case, make sure he's doing something about the gun violence down there in it was it Cicero? I think
Cicero.
it's
Yep.
yeah, Cicero, Illinois.
Mm.
Going right into our our throwback. We're going to catch you folks up on some stuff that we've been following for past year, 2 years. Um, and it's a couple of quick hits also, things that are in the news. But starting right up, we're going to start off at npr.org. npr.org right now. We're talking about the kids from Ukraine. That the war with Russia and Ukraine, yeah, it's still going on,
Yeah.
right?
Still
We're
happening.
about to transition to a whole new presidency in America, and so things may be looking different for Ukraine. You know what I mean, on in terms of how they get the support, who gets support, what now. You know what I mean? Trump has an affinity for Putin, so he may lean more towards Putin in terms of like trying to come to a conclusion with this war that favors more Russian side. Who knows? That could be speculation right now. But what's happening here with the kids in Ukraine that um Russia since the war has started, Russia has forcibly deported thousands of Ukrainian children to Russian controlled territories or into Russia itself. This includes children from orphanages, conflict zones, or those separated from their families, with reports estimating tens of thousands involved.
Mm.
This um, they then incorporated this illegal adoption and Russification program. So what that is that children that are in Russia are reportedly being subjected to adoption processes and indoctrination into Russian culture,
Yep.
including being denied the right to speak Ukrainian and being re-educated to identify as Russian citizens. This has drawn criticism, of course, from the United Nations Convention of on the Rights of Children. The the challenge the challenge is obvious here. When this war is over, what are you going to do with these kids? A bunch of them, their parents probably did.
Mm.
Um, and then who's to say how long some of these kids are going to be lost in that system and be Russian. They may be as young enough to where they might not even remember they're Ukrainian. They could successfully, legitimately deconstruct these people's culture and just like plant in
And
them
take on
this
the
Russian
Russian
culture
culture.
as if
Yeah.
like,
Mm.
isn't that wild?
I was just wondering, like, how are they able to confirm that this was happening? But I see that there are some verified leaked documents that shows Putin's involvement in
Yeah,
this
but
whole
also,
thing.
if you ran an orphanage
Mm.
and they said kids were taken from the orphanage, not all the kids are gone.
Yeah.
Like if you ran an
Yeah.
orphanage in Ukraine,
Yeah. That's
like, yeah,
true.
where the kids go? Y'all
Mm.
took all the kids. Y'all kidnapped all
Yeah.
the freaking kids.
Yeah. True.
This sort of thing isn't new. They had something like this
Oh yeah. Yeah. I don't expect it to
in
be.
Canada. It's Canada is the predominant one that what they did with the Native Americans in Canada.
Hmm.
Y'all need to look up Canadian Indian boarding schools. Look that up and see how you'll find out how Canada's still till today trying to like check
I
that.
I ain't gonna lie. That sounds crazy.
Look it up. I ain't gonna do all the homework for you. We ain't got
That's
time for all of that.
yeah. I
Just
gotta
Google it
look
right
that
now
up.
and then go down that rabbit hole and talk to me later.
That's
Put it in the comments what
wild.
you find out.
Hmm.
Canadian Indian boarding schools. Look that up. Find out
Yeah,
what
it's
they did to the indigenous people over there.
not like the United States haven't done the same thing with the. Okay,
That's
let's
another one.
yes, the
Right.
U.S. has been a part of that too. So but yeah, go ahead, bro.
Next up, President Biden issues a sweeping pardon to his son Hunter Biden. Reading from Politico.com. Of course, you could do only Google and find these subjects anywhere, discussed anywhere. But we're reading this one. This particular article is being covered here at Politico. This covers any potential federal crimes committed from 2014 to 2024, 10-year span.
Hmm.
This decision reversed previous assertions that he would not interfere in the legal process involving his son.
Hmm.
He's getting criticized from both parties on this,
Absolutely. Yes,
because
you should.
you know folks are saying, "Hey, you said you wasn't going to do the thing, but then you did the
And you
thing."
did the thing. Yeah.
And doing the thing, we've said, and you said, it
Mm.
undermines the trust in our justice system. That's
Yeah.
what you said.
Yeah.
And now you went ahead and did the thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, ipso facto, transitive properties, Joe Biden
Transitive properties.
is right.
Yeah.
No, Joe Biden is guilty of freaking adding another chink in that armor of the
Mm.
justice system.
Mm.
Whatever credible justice system, whatever, however level of credibility it still has, um, Joe Biden, you're part of that.
Yeah. Now you're part of it for sure.
I mean,
Yeah.
I personally think that I think he would have done this anyways. I think Hunter Biden was getting the pardon anyways. If Kamala would have won, and that's probably what Joe was betting on, then it would
So
have
he
been on
would. So he
Kamala.
wouldn't be involved. I see
So
what you're
Joe Biden wouldn't have
saying.
been involved. It would have been on Kamala. She would have
Mm.
forgiven him.
Yeah. She would have been.
And if Biden
And you're right. It would have
had
happened anyways.
stayed
Even if she would have won, it would have happened
right,
anyways.
but if Biden had stayed in the race and let's say he won, it would
Mm.
have been his second term.
He would have did
He
it.
was
He would
gonna
have still
do
did
it.
it. Yeah.
Like, I don't have to run
It was-
again. I don't care
yeah.
about y'all. You know what I mean?
It was
He's still gonna do
inevitable.
it.
It was inevitable. Yeah. You're
But
right.
now that Trump won, it's like,
And
oh,
Trump was not going. Was
Trump
not
ain't on
going.
that.
Yeah.
Trump needs his whipping boy, and
Yeah.
Hunter Biden was that guy.
Mm-hmm.
As much as a lot of that stuff was like that, the boogeyman they made out of Hunter Biden being this like multinational conglomerate, you know, Red Skull figure. No, he wasn't even all that. The dude was a crackhead, right? And
That's what it appears to me
the
as.
dude
He
was a
was just
crackhead that
crackhead, bro.
had a sex addiction.
Mm.
That's what it was,
Yeah.
and that's the extent of it.
And he's in a position of where he gets to shake hands and be connected with high profile people, and he's
But
in
he
these
never really
circles.
parlayed that into
No.
anything like. Well, he did get this barisma or whatever. He got the
Mm.
board thing, but that's a board seat. Like all these rich connected people get board seats, or
Yeah,
whatever. Like,
that's true.
he wasn't
Yeah.
controlling any big purse strings. He wasn't
Mm.
controlling any government agency. He
Yeah.
wasn't. I mean, Jared Kushner has like the sovereign wealth fund of Saudi Arabia. Just like I
Mm.
think gave him like $10 billion. He runs this hedge fund for like $10 billion, some crazy joint like that. And so them like they just
Okay.
don't. They just gave it to him. You know what I mean? This
Mm.
is clearly
Yeah.
he had that hedge fund had no past clients, no past experience. Not like this was some like Berkshire Hathaway or some joint or freaking Chase Bank that's been around for 100 years or something. Like,
Mm.
nope, he just started up
They
and
just
then boom, how your
Mm.
first investor is
That's
$10
all
billion.
connection. Yeah.
Okay,
That's all
so
connections. Yeah, for sure. I
all
see
those
what you're saying.
connections happen.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
Hunter Biden, in trying to make it seem like Joe had this huge crime boss family thing, but at the same time, y'all saying this dude is asleep all the time. I don't know how he was able to run. He's supposed to be, I don't know, he was supposed to be Mr. Magoo
Mm.
and Tony Soprano at the same time. Like I don't know how they made that work out. But anyway, Joe Biden did the thing. He pardoned Hunter. Um, I, I think he was going to do it anyways. He should never even brought it up that he wasn't going to do it.
Mm.
But of course, people are drawing the distinctions. Though that's saying and fairly, I would say that this is a minor because I think I said it's a big boogeyman. I think personally, like Trump, the people that Trump has pardoned, we're talking about Jared Kushner Sr., Kushner's father,
Mhm.
right? And now he's coming back to be the ambassador to France, the guy he pardoned from like some big tax fraud thing, and now he's coming back, and Trump is bringing them into the fold. Steve Bannon, Michael Flynn, these people
Mm.
he promised to pardon the people that did January 6th. So the insurrection on January 6th versus Hunter Biden's laptop, like, so they're not the same. Come on.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if you're comparing those two things, yeah, they're not.
Yes,
the
I'm comparing
same.
those two things. January 6th.
They're not the same.
And we're talking about hundreds.
They're not
We're
the
talking
same
about
level of
hundreds of them.
depravity, but
We're talking about
but yeah.
hundreds of them
Yeah.
that are going to get pardoned. They have
Yeah.
pled guilty, not even been
Mm.
found guilty. A lot of them found guilty. We're talking about even the ones that pled guilty. Yeah, you got me. I did the thing. I did the thing. Oh, I get pardoned. Thank you, sir. Thank you. So
And honestly, if I'm Biden, if I'm President Biden, he was probably thinking about it the same way too. He's like, bro, this ain't as bad as what. It's like,
Yeah.
I was like, bro,
And
like they'll be all right. He's probably like, they'll
and
be
he's
all
gonna
right,
take
man.
some moral stance of I'm not going to pardon
Yeah,
my son because like
and it's also one thing that I did feel empathetic that I was empathetic about the whole situation is that at the end of the day, that's his son. Right. So I understand like a lot of people would have made that decision. You know what I'm
and
saying?
the
To
only
like
and the, not only
I'm like I'm
it's
not
his
giving an
son
excuse. I'm not giving
and
an excuse, but I know if I was in this position, I probably would have been like,
you'd
all
have done the
right,
same
son, I'm
thing.
gonna do you. I'm gonna do you a solid. Like I'm gonna really do you a solid right now.
Right,
But
but here's the other thing too
you
about
know,
that is that if his last name wasn't Biden,
yeah,
he
he
wouldn't
won't
have even
even.
been in this sticky
Yeah,
situation.
exactly,
Especially
exactly.
since he paid back the taxes that he owed with
Mm-hmm.
interest.
Mm-hmm.
You paid that, you know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like the gun form thing, he had illegal
yeah.
like nobody gets
His
prosecuted for that
yeah,
ever.
his face wouldn't have been dirty at all. Like
You
he
know what
wouldn't
I mean? It
even.
would have been
Yeah,
like, okay, just been some misdemeanor slap on the back of the hand by
yeah.
anybody else.
Who would have forgot about it? Forgot
Even a
about it.
black person got you know what I mean? Like, wow, you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Would have been nothing. But because he specifically, they needed to find a way to hurt Joe.
Mm-hmm.
So he was the guy. He was the
Yeah.
guy. But it is what it is. And so that now Trump has the license. He been had the license. He was doing it anyways. He did his first term. He's
Mm-hmm.
gonna pardon whoever the heck he wants anyways.
Yeah.
And regardless of whatever implications that they may have on those people
Mm-hmm.
on the country. But moving right along,
Yeah.
the DOJ, after a significant delay, has finally got their agreement signed with the Trump transition team. They signed the agreement with the department to facilitate official background checks on individuals being considered for key roles in the administration. Security clearance process. It is, I've been through it. Jeff been through it.
Mm-hmm.
It's an extensive, like in your face, like
Mm.
up under your closet and under your bed. Like
Very
they
extensive.
needed, they need to know who your friends were, who you called outside the country,
Mm-hmm.
and they interview your neighbors that you might have had. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Depending on how deep
They
of a
pull up on your neighbors. They like legit pull up on you.
yeah, yeah.
For real.
So it's an extensive process, and so you
Mhm.
want to get a lot of these people, especially if they've never served in the government before,
Yeah.
to get the ball rolling on this thing. You got to transition to like you want to.
Yeah, you
It's
gotta get
kind of like
them.
a 4x1. You know what I mean? You want
Mhm.
that baton, that handoff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like in transition, you got to like make it smooth as you can.
Mhm.
And if they were just delaying, they didn't want to sign up on this stuff, and so they finally signed it, which is like, bro, you should have been signed. You could have been had some of your people in position to gather information, intelligence information to help make better decisions when it comes time for you to freaking take charge. But they delayed it, and so hopefully they can pick it up from here without much further issues. But there's another one with the GSA they haven't signed yet either. The GSA is the one that actually allows them to that gives them the funding for the
Mhm.
space and the technology that they need, like get your
Mhm.
government phones, your government laptops, to actually give them. So we're talking about the DOJ one is probably for like information, right? So you can be able to get information for these. But like this one, it was about actually get the physical space, the office space, access to this building and that building,
Yeah.
kind of thing. Like, bro, let's go. What y'all doing? You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
this is already people like me, you know what I mean, sound like a parent when we say, well, this is yet another, just another example to show you they don't know how to govern. They really don't know how
Mhm.
to really make the bureaucracy. They don't know how to drive the car,
Mhm.
But okay, this is what y'all want, and so this is just a clear example from the jump. You can't even sign a damn paper.
Yeah.
It's
But
you're
by the way,
delayed in that.
just so people can understand the context of what Darren's saying as far as the GSA. GSA is the General Services Admission. That's why Darren is
Administration, yeah.
yeah, General Services Administration. This is what they're supposed to be an independent agency. That's how they operate. And they are ahead of like they are responsible for the employment of federal workers. That's their main legitimate. It's legitimate. That's their main um, priority as far as like for the workers being employed. But they are ahead of a lot of these other services. So
So with
that's
that
just a
said, the
clarification.
transition is moving along. Uh, Bumps and starts. They got some people that he nominated that had to drop out already. I know the next big one that is making headlines now is this Pete Hegseth. You know, what I mean, a lot of things are coming out about him
Hmm.
and being qualified to. What was he supposed to be running? Pete Hegseth, was he um the defense secretary? I think they might
Uh,
have nominated him for.
oh, I gotta.
Um, yeah, it's somebody will fact check that. But either
Yeah,
way,
yeah.
it's we already had Matt Gates drop out, and so there's been some bumps already
Hmm.
in this transition, and that's without the Democratic side or Biden side or anything like that putting any like sand in the work. They're just like,
Yeah,
we're just here.
Yeah, defense secretary. You're right, bro.
Defense Secretary. Yeah.
Yeah, defense secretary. Yep.
So okay, we'll update you on the transition as we get further along into the season.
Mhm.
Uh, Pivoting off of that crap, uh, the transition team is looking interesting. When I mean looking interesting, I'm talking about physically.
Just
Plastic surgeons explain rise of Mar-a-Lago face.
oh my god,
What is Mar-a-Lago face, right?
this is
Uh,
absurd.
you may notice that many in Donald Trump's inner circle appears to have gone under the plastic surgery knife, creating what is now being called the Mar-a-Lago face. This is defined by copious use of Botox,
Mm-hmm.
Miami bronzer tan, puffy
Mm-hmm.
lips, silky smooth skin.
Mm-hmm.
Plastic surgeons told the Daily Mail that it was giving Trumpland an almost plastic and Real Housewives look. If you scroll down, you see some of these examples like, whoa, wait, what?
Wow.
Yo, look at
Wow.
Laura Trump.
Yeah, I looked at that. I was like, that's a different person.
That's a different, whole different
That's a whole
person.
different person, bro.
Yo, low key, she looked like a normal person before,
Mm,
and now she looks like a caricature.
mm.
Like she thinks that all this is a better look.
Yeah, that's
She
what, cause
paid
that's
for this. She paid to look like this.
oh, absolutely. Because that's
But
the
I
look
mean,
a
yeah,
lot
that's
of
what I'm saying.
that's
She
the look they're
paid
going
for
for.
this.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's the look a
Oh,
lot of them going
okay.
for.
Matt Gates
Hmm.
looks
Yeah,
crazy.
Megan look wild. I was like, y'all doing a lot, bro. Like that right there is kind of crazy. I was like,
Matt Gates look crazy.
I was like,
Why would you
y'all
want to
got
make
him on a
yourself look
wild.
more like Beavis and Butthead? Like you look at his mouth. His mouth doesn't even smile the same. It doesn't even
Bro,
move the same.
I think they caught him at a wild frame, bro. I don't know if that's
No,
legit.
bro. Which one? The
That
first or
looks like
second
a
one?
on the right side. Obviously,
No,
the
he
first
always
one.
looked like that. He always looked like that. You could Google him. That right side, he looks like that.
I mean, the first picture obviously is a professional picture, right? It looked like they just took that from like a job somewhere or whatever. But
Bro, you could look up Matt Gates right now on images. Go look it up. Don't believe me. Don't believe me. Just go look it up. I'm telling you,
I'm
do it.
looking. I'm looking right now. Actually, I'm looking right now. He
If you
can't
think
be
I'm
looking.
wild, I'm telling you, I'm dead serious. Like
I think you might be wild a little bit, bro.
this dude looks crazy.
No, cause see, like I'm looking at. Okay, I'm seeing a picture. I'm seeing a
Mm-hmm.
picture of him looking like the right side, right? I'm seeing a picture like that, but I'm seeing another picture on the side of that same picture where he looks like the guy on the left side. He just looks a little older, but like he looks like the guy on the left side.
Mm,
I'm seeing it, bro. Like I can send you, I can send
dog.
you a link right now.
I don't see no new pictures of him looking like that left side guy. I don't see no picture. Bro, them
I'm gonna show you.
eyebrows. Them eyebrows.
Eyebrows a little. They're a little suspect.
Bro,
Eyebrows a little
it looked like you look like you went in there. You know how you go to barber shop and you be like, you pick out which one you want, right? Number one, number
Yeah,
two.
yeah.
He's like, you see that eyebrow that says suspect under it? I want the suspect one. I want the suspect eyebrow.
He probably gets his eyebrows done, man. Oh
To
no,
look like that on
to look
purpose?
like that is crazy. Yeah, you'd be
Bro, that's
surprised.
crazy.
You'd be
To look like
surprised.
that on purpose.
To look like that on purpose would be crazy. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie.
Um, okay, I see what picture you're talking
Yeah,
about.
you
Where
see what I'm
he's
saying?
not
Like,
talking his place. He's like in transition to saying something.
yeah.
Bro, you gotta Google images. Why would you look at do one picture?
Well,
If you
I
Google
was just trying to see something quick, but like
okay.
that's why because just for the
When you
sake
do
of
all the
the
pictures, like
time.
I'm looking at like 20 pictures
Okay, you're
right
looking
now.
at the images.
And
Okay,
maybe
I'm gonna
one
look
or
at.
two pictures may look regular, but out of these 20 pictures, this nigga's giving like 1950s villain face.
He
Like
does actually. He does. He does, Loki.
Didn't Loki look like Joker from Batman? Was that a dark? Was it Dark Knight? Not
Yeah.
Dark Knight. Which one was that one? Batman Returns.
Remember it turns, yeah. He
Freaking.
look he do like a he looks like a super villain for real. Like,
Oh, why your face looking like that? Oh my God! Look at Kimberly Guilfoyle though.
oh yeah,
Look at
she look
Kimberly.
crazy. She look crazy. Yeah, she look crazy. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't
That's
gonna
a
lie.
wild picture. That is a wild picture
Yeah.
for them to put for him. But it's still though, like I mean, yo, Kimberly Guilfoyle kind of cute before.
Bruh, she looked better before. Like I don't know what this whole like eyelash extent which thing.
Yo,
how
how about this? How about
eyelash
this? She used
extension
to
is
date
the dark eyeshadow and all that. It looked crazy.
She used to date yo, in the eyelashes is wild.
Yeah,
Them
that's
be
what I'm
looking
saying.
like
Eyelashes are
helicopters.
crazy. The dark
Looking like
eyeshadow.
helicopters,
The
birds about to fly over
yeah,
here. She used to date Gavin Newsom
really.
back when she looked like the left one.
Oh,
When
okay,
she looked like the one on the
okay.
left.
Yeah, sure. Okay, okay. I see. I
But that's
see.
the thing is like I feel like all these so the point of this segment is that how
Oh
these people have all
wow.
transitioned their face
To look a certain way,
to
right?
look specifically like this, like again, the bronzing, you know what I mean? The
The darker
eyebrows, the
hair, the
Botex. Yeah,
darker.
yeah. You know what I mean? They're purposely
Ah,
like transition, all of them doing it. It's like they got a memo or something like that.
I'm looking at
Christy,
Kristen. I'm
Christy
looking at know
Nome,
him. Yeah, I'm seeing that.
Christy
I'm like,
Nome, she looked
yeah.
like a normal, regular woman to like make herself look like, what are you doing? Why are you
Down
looking?
to like the hairstyle. You see the hairstyle is
Yep.
now like
Hmm.
I see what you're saying. Even her eyebrows are thicker now. She's definitely
They're all got
I
this
see what
work done
you're
to look this way. You can see her cheekbone a little bit more pronounced here
mm-hmm.
on the right side. I mean, she just looked like a regular woman, like regular semi-attractive. I mean,
Hmm.
for her age, kind of whatever. I mean, I'm not, she just got a
You
lot of
might
work done.
you might have something there, but that does look kind of interesting. There's a look that they're all going for apparently. Yeah.
Like a specific one.
Yeah. That's
The,
interesting.
and then there's this last one, Ronna McDaniel.
Hmm.
Um, and I don't know if
She kind of looks the same, honestly.
she kind of looks the same.
She just has a lot of foundation and makeup on on the right side, but she looks the
Yeah, but
same though.
I think also like there's a thing to be said about the picture on the left. Oh, and here's the thing I want to say about all of this generally,
Hmm.
bro. Man, people need to embrace um grace growing. What is it? Aging
Getting
gracefully.
aging graceful. Okay, yeah, I hear what
Aging
you're saying. Yeah,
gracefully.
yeah.
Like y'all doing like people nip and tuck a little bit here and there. They do a little
Mm,
Botox. You know what I mean? People do it sometimes for acne control or
mm,
maybe even for like hair loss or whatever they. You know what I mean? But like the total like redoing yourself like this, especially for like I'm looking at this Ronna McDaniel thing. She
mm.
looked like a person that was aging gracefully on that left side,
Yeah, she looked like she
and
kind of
then this
forced it.
person on the right side, it looks like a cartoon
Yeah, like she kind of forced it. Yeah, yeah,
forcing it,
yeah.
and we see you forcing it.
Yeah, that's the thing. We see.
We
That's the
see you
thing.
forcing
It's
it
one thing.
clearly,
It's
brother.
one
The
thing to not
internet
notice it.
exists.
Yeah,
We can
it's one
go
thing to
back and
not
look at
notice
your
it, but we can
pictures.
see you
Yeah,
forcing it. Yeah,
we can
yeah,
see you forcing it. So
yeah.
I thought that was funny. And it's wild that
That's
all these
interesting.
people feel like they have to do this just to like fit some specific mold.
But they have to though, because like these parties, they do require a level of optics, so they
No,
kind of
I'm
have
talking
to.
about no. These are specifically for the Trump people though doing this.
Mm,
This is
mm.
these are all Trump people. You don't see like uh you don't see freaking Mitt Romney doing this crap.
Oh yeah, well, Mitt Romney's
You,
just a weirdo,
Mitch
but I
McConnell
understand.
don't do this
I understand what
crap.
you're saying. Yeah,
This is
yeah.
Trump people. They feel like they have to look like they from Miami or something like that. Like what a white person from no,
That's true.
I think they're going for. I
That's
think they're
true.
going for what does a white person in Tampa in St. Pete look like?
Mm,
What does a white person in St. Pete look like? They all look like Hulk
mm,
Hogan.
mm.
You know
Yeah,
Hulk Hogan, that
yeah,
freaking
yeah,
dark ass, freaking
yeah.
bronzy joint
Crazy
and
tan. Yeah, yeah,
crazy tan,
yeah.
freaking all kinds of Botox to the faces.
Mm-mm.
I think that's the look,
Hmm. Interesting.
and that look appeals to Trump
Whatever their
and
base is. Yeah.
hey, get it how you live.
They
I
operate.
got I got into this, and the idea of going to this was kind of stemming from the last election when we were talking about.
Hmm.
I was like, bro, I'm stuck out here freaking being too intellectual about stuff and reading up on stuff and just like researching and looking at policy and all that kind of crap. When like, but really, people out here voting on vibes. Remember, I said that
Hmm.
people voting on how they feel. Yeah,
Hmm.
the economy is doing these great numbers. These job numbers looking good, but that's not what Americans voting on. Americans voting on how do I feel, and
Hmm.
I feel like the economy's bad. So Biden bad, Kamala bad. You know what I mean? Democrats bad. So
Hmm.
that's how they ended up voting for Trump. Like, because it's all about vibes.
Hmm.
This feeling of vibes is pervasive in a bunch of different ways through our society.
Hmm.
In this study that I'm going to read from, many Americans they come to the conclusion that many Americans overestimate the size of small subgroups like minority populations, Muslims, or millionaires, for example, within the U.S. population. The overestimation is driven by psychological biases, right?
Hmm.
The phenomenon is linked to uncertainty based rescaling. This is so uncertainty based rescaling. I'm gonna say it slow. It's a cognitive bias where individuals adjust their population estimates towards the average when unsure about actual numbers. So this causes a misperception, and this misperception persists even when people are part of that group.
So why the media is important.
Well, they could do a lot of work helping or
Or they
hurting.
can do a lot of damage.
Could do a lot of
Because
damage. to this joint.
that's what I was actually saying.
I want to. Did you click the link? I want to explore some of these charts.
Yeah, I'm
with
looking
you.
at it.
Some of these charts with you. And so, like, if you look at this big first one, right? This big first chart there, there's a lot of difference between like what. Look at this. When you look at okay, the first one on their list, you're asking Americans to estimate, right? So you're just walking down the street, see somebody. I want you to estimate how many millionaires, how many households have an income of $1 million in the United States.
Oh,
People guessed 20%.
20% of people
When the
believe that.
number is have a household income of 1 million is the number is so small on this chart it says 0 because it's point something something.
Yeah, it's point something. Yeah.
Right. The very next question: how many people you walking down the street, you bump into somebody? How many transgender people do you think there are in America? Jeff, if I was to ask you that, how much would you have guessed before you saw this?
Before I saw that, I would've-
Transgender people in America.
because I've heard the numbers quite a bit, I would have guessed less than 2%. That's kind of only because I've heard the numbers before prior to reading this article, right?
So, but what are people guessing in the streets?
People in the streets would think it's more than that.
But,
They
okay,
think
I know what I'm saying, but
yeah.
I'm asking you, what does the chart say?
So the chart says 21%, which is egregious. That is actually egregious, right? Even if I didn't even have the numbers, I wouldn't even think that naturally in my head that it would be that high, right?
That's
Probably
21%,
like
yeah.
probably like
21%.
20% is crazy. That means you're telling me one out of every 5 people you run into. That's come on, y'all. Like we gotta be better than that. Like even I didn't think that naturally prior to all like the prior to all the information that's out there, like just naturally thinking about it, I still wouldn't even think. Yeah, I still wouldn't even think that high.
Was there any like crazy one that jumped out to you on here that you're like, yo, people was wilding? Or
that,
maybe
that,
like
that was one of them. That was one of them. That was one of them. What's another one that I thought was kind of wild?
Here's this one. This one I like. How many, Jeff? If I told you, don't look at it. How many people what percentage of American population are atheists? What would you have guessed?
That's an interesting one.
What would you have guessed? American populations. Hold on. Let me put some sauce on it. Now remember, you can't even say Christmas anymore, Jeff. Remember that? This is the country where you're taking the prayers out of school, Jeff, right? This is the country where like, these men is marrying men, right? You see, we need to put the 10 commandments in school.
Yeah.
This is a country where we're saying that crime is going up. There's no more morality, right? So that's the sauce that y'all be giving it to each other. So remember, that's the sauce that you walk up, random. But that's the background noise that's going on in our daily freaking society.
That's true.
But what would you have guessed?
You hear them narratives
in America is the percentage of Americans that are atheists.
Now, I will say I do find certain states that I think are weird places that I would never live in. But as far as answering that's one of the drivers of how I'm gonna answer this, right? But I would say, without looking at the chart, I would say in my head, I think I would probably say like around there are actual atheists, like people that believe there's nothing at all. I would say
that's
that's
interesting. That's interesting too, because the word atheist is people that
it's more of like non-believing. It just really means like
right. But that's why. But I was going to give you credit and say that. I was going to give you credit in 2 ways. One is that you have to ask the individual how do they express atheism for themselves? How do they define it for themselves? But what I give you credit for is that we're asking a random Joe Schmo on the street about what they think about, hey, atheists. For them, what's the most people think they don't believe in nothing.
They don't believe in nothing. Yeah, yeah, that's
so,
true.
So that you're right. So that's a proper way to
Yeah.
to assess it, as
That's
if it
true.
was that. So what was your number? Our
I would
atheist.
say so. In my head, I would
You would have guessed.
say I would have guessed anywhere between 25 and 35%. That's what I would have guessed naturally. I'm not gonna lie.
I would love to live in that country. I would
I
love.
bet.
I
I bet.
wish that was
bet.
this country.
Like,
Bro, we'd have our flying cars already. We'd be out
That's
here
crazy.
already. Oh my God. Well, everybody would have an
yeah.
extra 20 years of life if you
Mhm.
wanted to. The new 50 would really be the new what is 50 is the new 30? Is that a good way to put it? Like you're 50 years old, but like you really only look 30.
Crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You only look 30.
That's kind of crazy.
Bro, that'll be so. But y'all don't want that. Y'all don't want us. Bro, the joint is 3%.
Yeah, 3% is crazy. But you know what I'll say?
3%.
You know what I'll say about
out here
that,
thinking atheists is running around like that.
Low key, I really, yeah, for sure. Low key.
Oh, my bad. So I didn't say the other number before it says the number is 3%. The average person gets 30%. So you were on par.
Yeah. So
I would only 3%.
But I would say this because I think this is kind of interesting actually. Is there any place in the world that there would even be a percentage of that high as far as atheists?
Atheism?
Yeah, because atheism in general, because because you go to different parts of the world, it's not necessarily atheism, they just believe in different gods, right? So it's not like that, you know what I'm saying? But
the question
atheism,
is for
atheism,
like, okay.
That's what I'm saying. Is there any other place in the world you think that the number could even be at a place like where it's like 20-30%?
So I think so. I think maybe some of these Scandinavian
but they believe in gods too, though. They just have their own like.
But that's the population. We're talking about the percentage of atheists. That is a high level of 20%. That's the question.
Oh yeah.
You didn't say that. You ain't talking about the other 80%. The other 80% could believe in Christmas or whatever that other thing is.
Christmas, yeah. Krampus, or whatever his name is.
Whatever that joint is.
No, but go ahead.
So
I was curious about that.
In 2014, in 2014 there was a survey done in Vietnam that said about 13% of Vietnamese are atheists. Oh, actually,
that's actually surprising to me.
They're atheists. Now in Australia, they asked the question, and 40%.
Oh,
but
Australia.
they didn't say atheists. They said no religion.
Said no religion. Okay, so they're probably more agnostic than anything.
Yeah, than anything. They list China here, but they don't even have the number for China. So there's some places that are like that are definitely like that. So. That was interesting. So what wasn't one that you said that you found interesting for yourself? That was like a big thing that you're like, oh man, I didn't.
What was I gonna say? What was the one that I just one of the things have flown on a plane. I thought that was interesting.
Oh yeah,
right?
What is that one?
Like so that one's almost all the way at the bottom, right? I definitely was like on the end of that same spectrum where I was like, everybody's been on a plane. Who hasn't been on a plane, right? Like it's a plane. Like this is America. I was like,
that's true.
Yeah,
everyone's been on a plane. Yeah.
Like you know what I'm saying? But then like when I saw it, I was like, really? 59%? Like I was like
59% have been on a plane.
Have been on a plane. In 20. That's what I'm saying, bro. That's why I was like, really? So that one surprised me. That one actually.
Hey, that means low key, like. Those of us that have done that, like that's position, that's privilege. There's like a bunch of different reasons you're on a plane. It's to be able to like use that as a mode of transportation for anything. Especially some of us that do it for fun.
Oh,
and some of these people have never even done it for for any reason. Never been on a plane in 2024. Okay, and I'm assuming they're not counting babies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
On that joint.
But 59% is still kind of like surprising to me though.
Yeah,
that's still like I was definitely like I was like at least 90%. I was like, but really 59%? But yeah, that's one of the ones that surprised me.
So the one that a couple ones that are really close that people got right are you guessing how many percentage of the country that are married, right? And that number was between 51% and 55%.
Yeah,
so,
yeah,
that's somebody on the street. How many people in America you think are married? I think 50% of people are married.
Yeah, I would say around there. Yeah, I would.
They got it about right. about the passport one. The passport one was not that far off. How many
Mm-hmm.
people do you think have a passport? Some folks said a lot of people said 45% when the actual number is 37%
Mm-hmm.
have a passport.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty close. We get our perceptions right on that. But that the major one, another major one though is like the gun thing. How many people do you think have a gun? 54% people think they out here thinking that 54% of people have guns, and it's really only 32% that have guns
Yeah, yeah,
in this
I
country.
yeah, I thought that I had that number in my head. Like I was like, I think the third of the country is probably gun
Mm-hmm.
owners. Yeah, I kind of had that. What do you think about the ones that are Democrats and the ones that are Republicans?
So those were pretty close, spot on, right? I think those are
Yeah.
pretty. So it says like, are Republicans? That one's from 47% to 50%. So people guessed about right.
Mm-hmm.
They're about right. So especially if you're out there, you think you got to. I would have always. I think half the country is Republican, and like you ask Republicans, they probably think half the country is Democrats. They
Mm.
Well, I don't know. I wonder if you ask Republicans, they would say. I think the Republicans think the country is more um Republican, especially when you look at the electoral map. But the thing is, the electoral map shows a lot of land area. It doesn't show
Yeah,
population
yeah,
size
yeah, that's true.
kind of
Yeah.
thing. So,
Mm.
but I think a lot of people in their head, they have that electoral map in their head, and they see
Mm-hmm.
a bunch of red, and so they might think that the country is probably skewed way more um, uh, right Republican
Mm-hmm.
than Democrat.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of these other things that were surveyed, it was interesting again to talk about the percentage of the people within the populations that's guessing the wrong thing about their own population.
Mm-hmm.
Black Americans estimate that an average that black people make up 52%.
That's crazy. I
52%.
can't believe that, bro.
These
I was
niggas
like, what?
really thought half the country was black.
My guy, if that was the
More than
case, this will
half.
be if that was the
More
case,
than
this will be a
half.
whole different country.
Whole different country, bro.
Whole
You're in South
different
Africa
country.
somewhere. You
Yeah.
crazy?
I was like, are you
Black
dumb?
people thought this.
Crazy, bro. That's wild. That's wild, bro.
Non-black Americans
Mm.
estimate that the number is 39%. That's still
Bro,
kind of crazy.
that's still wild, bro.
When the real number is
It's
12.
like 12, it's 12%. Yeah. Yeah.
Yo,
People,
these niggas
people,
be acting
people
like
were,
they see niggas everywhere.
bro. People were trying to put some sauce on it and trying to like, they're like, well, the number is really 14%. Nah, man, it's really about like 12% for real. Like
It's
it's
12%.
it's
We
really
really not
that's
out there like
actually
that.
yeah,
Like when you
really
talk
not out there,
about
bro. Like,
the black men that voted for Trump or even the Latino men that voted for Trump or something like, gotta remember that population in and of itself is a small
it's a
population to
small
begin with.
population,
So
bro.
when you do
Like, yeah,
percentages, it might look
yeah.
like a lot for that population.
Mhm.
But bro, it's the country, like we're only 12% of the entire country.
The
This
entire
is
country,
crazy.
bro. Yeah.
For even black people to think that.
Mm.
For even
Yeah,
black people to think,
that's kind of wild to me. I was like, come on, like, y'all got to do better. Like,
yeah.
come on, man.
So I found that interesting. I think folks should go check it out. This is at yougov.com.
Mm.
And you can find this article is titled "From Millionaires to Muslims, Small Subgroups of the Population Seem Much Larger to Many Americans." And so to Jeff's point about how the media can make these kinds of numbers like in your head, like really skew the numbers in your head, is
Mhm.
because you'll see something like, yo, every time I'm watching the news and I see some crime thing happen, it's a black person I see that's doing some
Yeah.
crime thing. So I'm thinking like these niggas is everywhere, and I think I'm finna get robbed. I think danger is
Yeah.
everywhere. You know what I
Facts.
mean? And like so
Facts.
they could be in my backyard. So you automatically think that it's the prevalence is happening a lot more than it is. Um if you see the Florida man always on the news doing some Florida man
What's
stuff,
up?
you're gonna be
Throwing,
thinking like all of Florida is just like
yeah.
that. You're gonna be like, you're gonna be thinking, oh, like the vast majority of Florida is like that. Because you see
Mm.
it all the time. Like, yeah, it might not be all
Yeah.
Floridians, but you're gonna think a lot of Floridians are crazy. A lot of
Yeah,
Floridians are
yeah,
crazy.
people in Florida
But
are not just walking around with gators in their truck,
in their
throwing gators
trunk,
in,
dog. Like,
throwing gators in
yeah.
fast food windows. They're not. That's not a regular occurrence.
Yo, they really thought 27% of Americans are Muslim, when really the number is 1%.
That's actually really shocking. Like, what?
They thought
That's
30%
really shocking.
are Jewish, when it's really 2%.
Mm.
So when we have something that's going on like the Middle East
People really have
conflicts happening right now,
skewed perceptions. Yeah.
people can have this like when they say, oh my goodness, these Muslims are doing this thing over there, and there's 27% of our population is made up of these Muslims. They could be doing, when you think of, you talking about Al Qaeda, we talking about these terrorism, and so it's easy for you to like demonize your neighbor who may be Muslim because you think there's so much of them that they're actually taking over your country.
Yeah,
it's 1% of the population.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
it's just some perspective. It's fun with numbers, but
this is why people need to see the numbers. That's the thing.
But they don't even matter. This don't even matter what I'm talking about right now, because they still finna go on vibes. They still finna go on vibes. They feel like it's an invasion coming from our southern border. They just feel like it's an invasion, even though like the most people have gotten deported since ever. Right? Obama was called the deporter in chief at one point.
Yeah. He was going crazy.
But then y'all still making the vibes as if like Obama did not have the border under control. So y'all like it. It's the vibes. It's the vibes. Numbers don't matter. What up, fam? It's Darwin, the guy that was just talking. First off, thanks for watching and supporting the show. But I gotta give y'all some homework. Your challenge, if you choose to accept it, is to interact with the show. That means 1, hitting that like button, because I know you like our stuff. 2, make sure you subscribe so we can swim our way up your timeline whenever we drop new content. The third thing, please share the channel with your friends. Maybe they'll learn a thing about a thing or two. Oh, last thing, we're over here talking about what y'all talking about. So go ahead and carry that conversation on into the comments. We be up in there too. Our next main story, we're gonna pivot. We have to talk about this. But it's kind of, I guess I could find a way to relate it, is because, another minority group, millionaires and billionaires. One of the things we talked about here, that we think there's a lot more of these people out there than they really are. And it really goes to show that the money and all that is really concentrated to a very tight, small amount of the population. So it's not the money. The money ain't trickling down. It ain't spreading far and wide. But one of these, elites found out the other day. Unfortunately, we had an assassination attempt in New York. Well, it was an attempt. It was a success.
No, it was assassination. Successful assassination.
Successful assassination in New York. The wild thing, though, is that New Yorkers are celebrating this assassination of UnitedHealth CEO Brian Thompson. Dude was 50 years old, and New Yorkers were celebrating this by having all kinds of like, bro. They had a lookalike contest. They had a whole lookalike contest, and bro, they had posters up talking about, if you look like this guy, come to this contest, you can win $50.
Yeah,
and people showed up. There was the one guy won, and he was like, you had to come dressed like the guy was dressed, because they got a picture of the assassin.
At a counter.
And the dude was like, I wear this all the time, and so I didn't have to do much. I look like him, and I wear this all the time. I'm like, was this contest set up by the people you think? I'm like, who said that? I'm like, low key. If I'm FBI, I'm like,
kind of felt like that.
I like that idea going. You know what I mean? Like. Yeah. But like, really, I'd be like, this guy assassinates somebody. He'd be like, oh, looking like contest. I know I can win this.
That's insane, bro.
I think I got a chance. That's $50.
Yo, that's bro.
Yo, this fool get away with a whole assassination and then come in just for the $50 contest. Just for the $50. Bro, that you caught. How'd you get me? How'd you know?
Bro, that is wicked, bro. That is wickedness of the highest order.
Bro, why would you sign up? Dog, even if you didn't do it, these people that showed up for this thing, you're gonna be hemmed up. I'm gonna hem you up for at least an afternoon.
They're gonna be looking at you. They're gonna be looking at you.
At least an afternoon, bro. I'm gonna need you to come down to the station with me real quick.
FBI gonna be on your tail.
Real quick. You know what?
Gonna be on your tail.
Yeah. I appreciate y'all doing the work for me and gathering in this one spot. You kind of look like my guy.
I ain't gotta look for him.
How many times did niggas get hemmed up talking about, African American average weight, average height?
Yeah, just walking down the block.
Never to be heard from again.
Yep.
Never to be heard from again. And these dudes just rounded them, just like, here I am. 8 of us that look like this picture.
Yeah.
Bro, even if you ain't that guy, guess what? I got to take you in for questioning. And guess what? You have an outstanding warrant? Got you. outstanding warrant, whatever,
Mm.
something.
Mm.
Darwin Awards right here.
Yeah.
Insert right here.
Insert right here.
This is the people that we need to get. But
Yeah.
the sentiment of what they're expressing is that a lot of people not taking this, not taking the praise and thoughts and family tickets into consideration for this one.
Mm. Hmm.
People going in on that boy.
Yeah.
As soon as United Healthcare Group issued their statement that said, "We are deeply saddened and shocked at the passing of our dear friend and colleague Brian Thompson, the CEO of United Healthcare. Brian was a highly respected colleague and friend to all who worked with him. We are working closely with the New York Police
NYPD.
Department,
Hmm.
and ask for your patience and understanding during the difficult time. Our hearts go out to Brian's family, and all who were close to him." When they posted that joint on Wednesday on Facebook, that bit immediately got 76,000 laughing, crying
Mm.
emojis. 76,000 laughing, crying emojis. So, Jeff, did 76,000 people all of a sudden wake up and loved assassins and murderers?
Absolutely not. They're all expressing their experiences with these health insurance companies. That's why.
This was just people, like,
Mhm.
bro, it's kind of hard to get people to feel bad for you
Yeah.
when they know what your reputation is
Yeah. When they've had family members who probably died because of the
of
practices of yours.
practices
Yeah.
of that industry, bro. There's these
Yeah.
these couple industries that I have no love for. I hate that they even exist. There's insurance company, cable companies,
Bro, I've
credit card
always,
companies, and
man,
freaking for profit these for profit
bro,
colleges,
I talk about this all the time with my friends,
bro.
bro. I was like the biggest scammers in this country, bro, is health insurance,
Scam in.
insurance companies in general, wherever they may be. Insurance companies, like all of that, bro. It pisses all of it pisses me off. But go ahead.
65% of United Health customers are very unsatisfied with the insurer.
Hmm.
That's what a rating was when they did some survey about it.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, United,
Wow,
what is this thing? So
65%. Wow.
65%.
Mm.
So the United Healthcare is one of the nation's largest health insurers.
Yeah.
It was ranked one of the 10 worst insurance companies in America by the American Association for Justice,
Mm.
for its bad faith insurance practices. To learn more about it, let's take a look at the 10 worst insurance companies
Yep.
here.
Looking at it now. Hmm.
We we have we have Allstate, but wait, I thought I'm in good hands though.
Yeah.
We have Unum, AIG, which is the one that I think AIG is with the actors, and all of them have,
Mm.
right, the actors in Hollywood or whatnot. State Farm, is this what's State Farm doing? Like a good neighbor?
Yeah, like a good
Like a good neighbor?
neighbor.
They your neighbor, right? They like a
Yeah.
good neighbor, right?
Yep, like a good neighbor.
Right.
Neighbor.
Number four on
Hmm.
that damn list.
Hmm.
Transamerica, which has always been a scam.
Yep.
Freaking Anthem, Farmers, then United. Uh, and then there's Liberty Mutual coming up the rear end. Liberty, Liberty, Liberty. That
Hmm.
one, yeah, you
Hmm.
like the jingle. You think it's catchy, you think it's cute, right?
Yeah.
Until it's time for you to file that damn claim.
Yeah, for sure. I'm glad.
Um,
I'm glad I ain't got none. I mean, obviously I have to have insurance companies, but I don't have any of those with any of the
mhm.
insurance that I have. So
Companies
at least I ain't got one of
consistently,
the worst ones.
yeah, these companies consistently put profits over policyholders.
Absolutely.
They might make you think that you're in good hands or they're like your neighbor, but this is America, baby.
Hmm.
And capitalism runs this. Just like
Absolutely.
America runs on Duncan, America runs
It's on capitalism
on capitalism, bro.
for sure.
And if you have a for-profit system for people's health, they their first priority is a return on investment for their investors,
Absolutely.
shareholder profits.
Absolutely.
We have this industry that is booming, making what is it, 30 billion in profits each year.
Hmm.
30 billion a year. They've been receiving, was it at least $1 trillion in premiums, right? And that's just your premiums.
Wow.
Um, your premiums,
Making
dog.
bank, bro.
Some of y'all ain't even cash in on nothing. You
None
ain't
of
had
it.
no health problem. You had no car
Nothing.
accident, nothing like that.
Just giving money away.
It's giving money to these people, just holding just in case.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all told, they're said to have assets of up to 3.8 trillion. It's a lot of countries out here.
That's a lot of bread,
It's a
bro,
lot
for
of countries out
insurance.
here that don't have that as for their GDP. How did these insurance companies do this? Is said to be a internal practice of deny, delay, and defend.
Absolutely.
Insurance companies boost
Mm-hmm.
profits by paying out fewer claims. This makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Pay out fewer claims, which raises ethical concerns. Granted, but um, they frequently just delay, and defend claims to protect their bottom line,
Mm-hmm.
and to the point where the average person gives up.
Yeah.
Now, that term there, delay, deny, defend, was from a book um, from Jay Feineman, a book that came out in 2010. And the subtitle for the book is Why Insurance Companies Don't Pay Claims and What You Can Do About It. So Feynman provides some guidance on this, and generally he's saying that you need to evaluate and compare insurers. Number one, filing claims effectively, and advocating for fair treatment. So now filing claims effectively, they will make you run through the gamut to just that
Absolutely.
form, that dot, that I's and dot, that T's and cross.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like giving you tips and stuff like that in the book to like really like pay attention to those details,
Mm-hmm.
read your policy, what I mean, things about what's in network, out of network, all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Now, why this comes up is another detail for the assassination, because there were 3 bullets, shell casings, that were found on the scene, where they said deny, defend, depose. These 3 shell casings said this.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's said that this thing could potentially have been a professional hit. The guy does his gun does jam, and he clears it like easy,
Mm.
and proceeds to doing what he's doing, and just pops through mid broad daylight in New York, hops on a bike, and
And
just
got up
like
out of there.
skedaddled.
Yeah. And I think they're still looking for him, actually.
They're still looking for
Oh, bro.
him.
New York is a wild place, bro. Wow.
I'm gonna say this. I Our healthcare system is atrocious. It's a for-profit system. There's a lot of systems that should not be for-profit. The prison, for example,
Mhm.
it shouldn't be for-profit. Like we're trying to we're trying to still save the freaking public education in this country, but they want to
Yeah.
turn over to the profit making charter schools.
School to prison pipeline.
And then you have the school to prison pipeline, because
Mhm.
you have the freaking kids, the black kids that are like apparently like 37% of their freaking population at the school, when there's really
Apparently.
not that big.
Yeah.
If you're not on Martin Luther King Boulevard, then no, you're not. You're not
Right.
gonna have 37% of your student body be that.
That's so
But
crazy. That's a if y'all don't understand that double
that's an
entendre.
Easter egg. That's an Easter
Yeah, that's
egg.
Easter egg. Yeah.
That's
I
an
can't
Easter
help
egg.
y'all. I can't help y'all. But
But
go
you have
ahead.
the schools with the less resources there at the school. You turn that into a for-profit system. The black kids filling out of that. From there, they're getting over policed at the school, because you have these freaking these goddamn school resources officers,
Yeah.
who then gets the kid into prison eventually.
Mm-hmm.
And now that prison system is for profit as well. It's a slippery slope. A lot of this is actually happening currently, but it don't need to be nationwide. But either way, healthcare, I think, I mean, it just comes down to what you want to provide your society. If you're nation building, if you're developing a country, right? What are these things? And you're gonna have a government. It turns out governments are a good thing. When we look around the world and see places that don't have good governance in place, we
Yeah,
see
we
out there.
see.
As much as we complain about what we have going on here,
It's
we
better
have
than a lot of
internet.
other places.
We
Yeah.
have a lot. We have lights
Yeah.
right now. We can do this over this thing, and upload on YouTube, and just
Yeah.
So it's like
Still better than a lot of places.
governments are good. Okay, I think government's good. If you're nation building, that is right.
Mhm.
If you want to stand up a country, so what would I prioritize to be something that is like not keep out of, and I still want capitalism, but I want to keep this out of the money making business. I think healthcare will be one of those things.
Mhm.
Um, Obamacare is not healthcare, but it is an alternative to um the current system that we have
Mm-hmm.
now. Mind you, these systems are backed by the current the ACA is backed by the current insurance industry, right?
Okay.
And so you kind of just kind of throwing a bone, really,
Mm-hmm.
for, but at the end of the day,
Mm-hmm.
they're making a profit off of when you sign up for the ACA as well.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I just switched up from Obamacare to ACA. That in of itself is another freaking problem. Is because a lot of people don't like Obamacare, and so they're not talking about repealing and replacing Obamacare. And then when they find out that the ACA is about to get repealed, they're like, wait, what do you mean? I love my ACA. I like my ACA. Like, bro, that's Obamacare.
Yeah,
It's
it
just a
falls
different
under
name
that.
for it. It's
Yeah,
Obamacare,
it's the same. Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And Obamacare is woefully short. It comes up short on what I would want,
Mm-hmm.
which is a universal healthcare system. But at least Obamacare is a step in that direction. At least ACA is a step in that direction.
Mm-hmm.
So you can have a public option, at least an insurer price, insurers as insurers go.
Mm-hmm.
And then the hospital system would still be the hospital system. The insurance is about who pays for the thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're not talking about Obama he ain't scrubbing in for your surgery.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he's not.
Yeah.
That's not what Obamacare does. It doesn't freaking put just this government person at the hospital to
Mm-hmm.
freaking fix your boo boo. Right? It's
Yeah.
who pays the hospital to do the work that they're already doing. That's what
Mm-hmm.
that's about. Um, but even then, I think what we get in the military is a universal health care. Whatever
Yeah, because
happens
y'all
to
got
us,
y'all get TRICARE and all that. So yeah.
but we don't even have to worry about any of that crap. Whatever happens to us, we just go to the VA and they fix it.
Yeah, and they fix it. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Yeah.
Um, the senators and stuff like that, the Congress people,
But y'all,
whatever boo boo they
but
got,
the because but that's also because the defense budget is crazy. So
and I'm
y'all
saying
good.
that that thing there, we could reallocate our budget
Mm-hmm.
to pay for that, or to make that an option for at least the lowest income of people in the country where we cover their health care.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's less people on the bro, the amount of money that we spend to for unhoused people to get them in and out of hospitals because they're
I see
freaking
where you're getting at.
overdosing or they're exposed to the freaking elements and all that kind of stuff. Like, bro, just give
That
them
could
a
be
if
allocated to one of the healthcare
if we
facilities.
just
And
get
yeah,
them health care to get
yeah,
treatment, whatever it
yeah.
is, or whatever uh uh let's say they picked up a disease or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
right? And now they're spreading it because they don't get the proper treatment.
Mm-hmm.
They whatever they care. You know what I mean? They're spreading amongst that population.
Mm-hmm.
And that population, some of them may be like part-time homeless. Some of them may have a shelter every once in a while. So now you end up going on a date with one of these people who like are like, money funny.
Mm-hmm.
Or so who knows? There's a lot of freaking cascading events that can happen just because we don't give this one person health care because we don't deem them, you know, we think they're just going to disappear and go away.
Mm-hmm.
It affects us all. It's
Yeah,
for our greater good. It's for the
yeah.
so guess what? The hospital isn't packed up now because these people got treatment. They're not in and out of the damn emergency room. So now
Mm-hmm.
when I come through and I have a situation, I could get care on time.
Mm-hmm.
Or even how about this? How about the bankruptcy that ends up happening because of people's medical debt? You could avoid that.
Yeah, yeah.
You like I think the thing writes itself. I think the benefits are self-evident.
Mm-hmm.
Um, And then the folks that try to do it the right way, you get the insurance, you either get the job or you sustain the job and stay at the job that you hate because you got to have the insurance because you have a chronic condition. And then you go to file a claim and they just freaking delaying and denying you when you're like, yo, I thought I had all my T's crossed and my I's
Yeah,
dotted.
yeah, yeah.
People have died over, I don't remember the exact figures on this, but hundreds of thousands of people died waiting on insurance to
Yeah.
approve something.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're talking about they shortening one of the I think it was the actor's insurance company is like, yo, we only gonna pay for anesthesia for up to like 3 hours. If whatever procedure you're going through, no matter what it's for, if you gotta get anesthesia for any longer than those 3 hours, that's coming out your pocket. Mind you, you sleep.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? You getting the
yeah,
surgery done,
yeah.
and the physician is or the surgeon's like, oh, you know what? This is a lot more complicated now that I'm inside here. I gotta like move this around and do this other thing. Now
There are people. There are people who be
I'm supposed to
under.
wake up and be like, no,
Yeah, yeah. That's crazy. There are people. There are people who are, bro. There are surgeons that are doing 10, 12 hour procedures, bro. Like you're gonna be under anesthesia the whole time, bro. So you're telling me you're only gonna cover a third of that, a quarter of that?
You gonna come out of that joint.
You gonna come out there being
So, but guess what that does
with a
automatically?
scalpel
Then
in your chest? That's
that makes me
crazy,
like that
bro.
makes me like, you know what? I can't afford to come out of the surgery, you know what I mean, and be $100,000 in debt
Yeah,
when I thought I had
legit,
insurance, right?
legit. Yeah, yeah.
So guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna delay this treatment. I'm gonna delay this procedure. And who knows what emergency shit could happen later.
Mm-hmm.
Then next thing you know, I'm in the emergency room with y'all. You know what I mean? And um and now the service has got to come to me because I'm in the emergency room now.
Yeah.
I could have had a procedure,
Mm-hmm.
and I could have like, you know, like what do they call them, outpatient treatment kind of
Yeah.
situation.
Outpatient. Yep. Bro, that's scary, bro.
You're gonna bog up all the emergency rooms. That's all you're gonna do.
Yeah. Here on Challenge Day, Darwin and I, we like to express challenges that we've experienced or are experiencing or have experienced. And we like to describe like how we've conquered them, or if it's a challenge that we're currently going through that we are currently conquering, right? So, we'll jump right into it. We're both going to describe what those challenges are. Obviously, being this being Challenge Day, we want to make sure that we express that to folks, just to kind of give you some game where game is needed. Um, and you know what? I'm gonna just jump into mine real quick, bro, if you don't mind. My challenge is PT, bruh. So I had my surgery a couple weeks ago on my Achilles. It was a Achilles rupture. So yeah,
I
that
saw that
joint was
picture you sent about it. That joint look crazy.
yeah, it's really wild. Yeah, but the picture that I actually sent you just recently was like where is that now since the surgery and all that. But
Yeah.
that joint look wild. It still look wild though. But you can see the weird kind of skinning and scab. It looks crazy. But you can kind of see like a little bit of like where the incision is. It's kind of cool. You can see like if you look at it closely, you can see where it is. But it's kind of it's weird, but it's also like a little terrifying to
That's
see my
your
skin.
first surgery, like
Like my
surgery?
first like actual like surgery on like which to
Well, you had that one surgery.
yeah, but it's like you can't really see it. It's because there's no scarring or anything like that because it was
There was no
underneath
scar
my
on
lip.
it. Oh, they did one on the inside.
Yeah,
Okay,
they
got
went
you,
on the
got you.
inside, so like so it's
Okay.
like, but this is like the one surgery that like you could actually see it
Yeah.
externally, like you know what I'm saying, like, and it's the first time I even had an injury like this before ever in my life, so it was kind of wild. Even like the surgeon was just kind of like, "This first time you ever had something like this?" She was like, and I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "Astounding." I was like, "Dang, that's kind of crazy," because she's so used to seeing so many people, different ages and all that stuff like that. So I got it, but like it kind of took me back. I was like, "Wow, okay." People really out here like just earning Darwin awards like that. Is that what's happening? But as far as yeah, physical therapy, man. Anyone that has gone through any surgery, especially like a sports related surgery, um again, for me, it was I had an Achilles rupture. Anyone that's gone through like a sports related injury like that, you know that the hardest part is not necessarily like the healing process itself, unless you're doing dumb stuff, right? But if you're going about the healing process the right way, as far as taking care of your body, not doing too much, making sure that you have it like covered and all that stuff for the time it needs to be covered until like you're in a walking boot, right? Which I'm currently in a walking boot now. It's the physical therapy. That's really the hardest part of it. It's not necessarily like it's. I mean, there is like the pain you have to deal with like after surgery, like for like 4 or 5 days, and that's tough. And it being like non-weight bearing where you really can't put your foot down on anything. So there are like some difficult parts, but the most difficult part is the physical therapy. Why do I say that? Because number one, physical therapy hurts. Number two, it's the longer end of it, right? Because you are getting the flexibility back, you're getting the strength back, you're syncing that mind body connection of like, and when I say that I mean like walking properly again or whatever part of your body it might be, right? You're getting that mind and body connection back of like being able
How
to
many
function normally.
have you started this? Or you say you about to start this?
I started last week.
How many times do you do you go per week?
Yeah, so this is what my schedule is according to my surgeon. That was recommended on my referral. It's for 6 to 8 weeks, 2 sessions per week. So at most 16 sessions, and then from there you on your own, right? Like
And you gotta
you,
like keep doing the stuff
you got
at
to keep
home.
doing it. Yeah, yeah. But as long as you get those, um, 12 to 16 sessions in, from like an actual physical therapy, you'll you should see improvement as long as you're going to those sessions. You'll have those sessions that you can bring back home because they give you a printout. They even give you like an app that I have like with my physical therapy center. There's an app that I have, which is pretty cool because you can log the sessions and all that stuff. And it helps you remember like all the exercise and all that stuff. So, um, obviously, and then you're also gonna find yourself like buying some stuff here and there just to kind of like repeat some of those exercises. Um, so it's anywhere from, so again, two sessions per week for 6 to 8 weeks. So 12 to 16 sessions in total. Um, and you should be like in
So you have to like
shoes.
buy your own like resistance bands and stuff like
Yeah,
that
yeah.
for
'Cause
home.
ultimately, that's what I'm gonna end up doing is buying like resistance
Hmm.
band. Right now, I currently just have like just some regular stuff that you would need, like a mat. I have obviously towels already, but I have like lacrosse balls, that you roll your foot on, for like
Hmm.
the whole um, what is it, the plantar fasciitis, or fascia, whatever how you pronounce that thing, but to help with that. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna end up buying some resistance bands at the point when I progress to that level where I can start using uh resistance bands. Um, but it's oh, and also like the scraping and the cupping thing to like work out like the scar tissue to make it, to get it the tendon to be, as normal as possible as you can to that point. All that stuff is painful, man. All that stuff is painful. But I should also be in shoes within 8 weeks, right? 8 weeks of PT. I should be at. I should be walking in normal, like normal shoes. But I'm still gonna be wearing like the walking boot, for still a period of time after that. I'm not sure how long I will still be wearing the walking boot, even when I'm in normal shoes. Like, I don't know, because there's some people that like can just wear normal shoes and then be good. They just have to continue to do their exercises. But there's some people that still like they'll still use the walking boot where like they'll be in walking shoes, they'll go out somewhere or whatever, be in walking shoes, but like they'll still have the walking boot where they'll still put it on when they go to sleep or something like that for a period of time, even after that 8 week period. So it just depends on how your body heals.
You sleep with the boot?
Um, I do for sure, because I move around in my sleep for
Move around
sure.
like yeah.
Yeah, I
I
move
couldn't
around.
wait to get out that damn boot. Like
Yeah.
when I
Mm-hmm.
had my foot surgery, especially to sleep, like joint,
Mm.
and then I had to like elevate my foot on something. It was just freaking uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's very uncomfortable. Yeah, it's very uncomfortable. But technically, you shouldn't have to use a walking boot after the 8 weeks, according to my schedule. But we're gonna see how it goes. But I am looking forward to just being in normal walking shoes, because, bruh, after a while, bro, it just gets annoying having that walking boot. I mean, it definitely serves its purpose. It does what it's supposed to do for sure. Because there are several times where like I hit my foot against something and I'm like, thank God I was wearing this walking boot, because
this
that would have
this
hurt a
boot
lot.
would have hurt a lot.
Yeah, it would hurt a lot. Um, but yeah, that's my current challenge, man. I'm just getting through the PT. It
Trust the
is
process.
yeah, it's just a process, yeah. And I'm trying, and I need to, and what I'm looking forward to doing is obviously getting back in playing shape, right? Like, um, at the end of the day, but I know that getting back in playing shape is going to require at least a year, right? So I know by next November I should be able to do that. But I need to make sure that I am really addressing the flexibility, the strength, and all that stuff. But I also need to make sure I get that mind and body connection back. Like there's gonna be times where I'm gonna have to like actually put it under stress and put some load on it just to make sure that like I'm good. You're gonna have to put it through those challenges to see if you can, because I mean I'm not gonna be scared for the rest of my life, right? And be like, okay, I'm not gonna do anything ever again, right? Like I need to test it. Like I actually need to test it. But that part of it comes way at the end of it. Like I said, next year, October, November, then I'll be like, okay, I can probably see if I can go jog somewhere or biking or whatever. I just start off slow and then move past from that. But yeah, that's my
So you,
challenge, man.
you so, so you
Anybody that's
hear it,
going
kids.
through
Make sure you do your calf raises so you don't get like
yeah.
Jeff with these Achilles problems. You know what I mean? If that boy ever
Nah,
did skip leg day, you know that's
nah,
what
nah.
happens.
I
Don't
didn't skip
skip
leg
leg
day.
day.
I didn't skip leg day. What was happening actually prior to this whole situation? I did have some Achilles tendonitis. I did, like, and I say Achilles. I did have some tendonitis there, from just
So yeah, some
playing.
like stuff that was like feeling like it could have been something,
Yeah, low key, like,
but you
and
can't just like up and get a freaking MRI. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Just like randomly because I felt something.
randomly, because yeah, exactly, and like, and and I played soccer with it, and like, I got, I'll stretch it out and all that and get warm and then play soccer, but then like it'd be painful afterwards. But that's another reason why I didn't like play soccer or basketball, all those things, like often, because of the tendonitis. It would be like once a week or once every other week or something like that, just to kind of manage that. But it was pain there that I've had for a while. That tendonitis is painful, bro. Like, because of the scar tissue and all that. So that means that I probably tweaked something like a long time ago that just never really got looked at properly. You know what I'm
Maybe.
saying? because being from that era was like, oh, just lace your shoe back up, you all right. Like, you know what I'm saying? But also not having insurance and all that. So that was another thing. Back to the conversation we were having before. So not having the money, the insurance to like afford just going to go get something like X-ray
Yeah.
or MRI or whatever. So that's a whole other conversation. But yeah, it was. But I will say now, since I've had the surgery, I don't like the common pain that I always had, like just the resting pain that I've always had from the tendonitis is not there anymore. Like I don't feel it at all. So obviously they cleaned all that up when they did the surgery. So that's one thing I'm happy about. At this point right now, it's just about like getting that flexibility and all that stuff back. So,
There you
but that's my challenge, y'all. If anybody's going to physical therapy, I feel you. I feel you.
go. Yeah.
Just get through it. Consistency is key. If you want to get back to running, jumping, doing whatever, obviously don't do anything crazy when you get to that point. But like if you want to get to the if you want to get back to the point of like physical activity and all that stuff like that, just get through it and be consistent with your exercise. You'll be all right. So, on to you, bro. What you got?
Enough of your games. It's time to talk about serious stuff. All right. Putting up decorations.
Oh my god.
It's that time. Dog, it's the work. It's
I,
that
f- I feel
time.
I feel the same way about it, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. I feel the same
Cause
way
the,
about it.
cause I had like, no, I had the Halloween decorations up.
Hmm.
Then I had the fall stuff up, just the
Hmm.
harvest stuff,
Yeah.
and then transitioning that out, and then to put up the Christmas stuff.
Yeah.
I was just like, why do we do this? Why am I like, why am I doing this? So I'm thinking of the challenge is getting through the decorating of the house for the seasons. That's the challenge.
Yeah.
And I find myself doing a little bit less than I did before. I'm like,
Mm.
do I really need to go put it on that tree too, and that one, and then do this whole
Yeah.
thing in this other room,
Yep.
that
Yep.
kind of stuff. So I'm making it a little bit low key than I've done in the past.
Hmm.
Um, but the point of why do we do it? You know what I
Mm.
mean? Like, why do we bother to even to put up decorations, especially like at
Mm.
home? I mean, maybe if you're in a office building or you're at a church or something like that, like
Mm.
a public gathering spot,
Mm.
being decorated. But like, you know, you think about, well, why do we end well, tradition is one.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Maybe that, or it could help your mood, and this is
Mm.
decorating in general, because like it could be like for example, 4th of July, people decorate for that, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
or people decorate for Easter, even,
Mm.
what I mean, depending on the house you're in, or you might decorate for St. Patty's Day, Cinco de Mayo. We
Mm.
decorate for all kinds of reasons,
Mhm.
you
Mhm.
know. So a celebration,
Mhm.
um nostalgia. It could be like, oh, when I was a kid, we always did some decorations because of, on Christmas
Mhm.
we put up the stockings or whatever.
Mhm.
Not me. We didn't have all that when we was kids.
Yeah.
Barely get a tree.
Yeah, for
Uh,
sure.
uh, but it could be that
Mhm.
when you live in, I mean, when you live in a community, it could just be because that's what the neighborhood is doing, and you want to add to your social
Yeah.
capital,
Yeah. That's a
and
good
you don't want
point.
to be like a party pooper.
Yeah.
So your neighbors are decorating,
Yeah.
and so you gotta put something out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Put
It's
some
that
lights
subtle
up real quick,
that subtle
so
peer
you don't look
pressure.
like, you know what I mean? That
Yeah.
that pressure, whatever,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yep.
Um, but also there's personal expression,
Mhm.
like shows a little creativity for like what could I come up with? Like I've seen some wild looking houses for Halloween,
Mm.
and like, oh, that's how you did that joint.
Mhm.
You know, I've seen some really intricate stuff for New Year's,
Hmm.
right? Uh, and it shows how creative this person is. You know what I mean? It's like an artistic outlet for some folks.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like for me, most of it comes down to the mood boosting. The so let's see, it would be the mood boosting, the social. the neighborhood social kind of investment, I guess.
Okay.
Um, the tradition part is interesting because I feel like because of how our family dynamic is,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the things that I've established in my adult age has been, I feel like me starting traditions,
Mm.
like my own.
Yeah.
Some have died off that we may have had in the past with the people who was predominantly in charge of that thing,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it died with them.
I thought about that. I thought about that with mom. There are things that I even remember with mom that she did that's the only reason I even those things even registered in my mind because it
Hmm.
was attached to a memory. It's attached
Yeah,
to my mom. So yeah, you're right.
that's the nostalgia part.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and you may have that tradition, but if you don't have that connection to that tradition anymore, like me, I mean, I feel like you have to start. I have to start new traditions. Um, but I wouldn't look at it so dauntingly. I think it's a good thing. It can be a good thing because there's some traditions that you didn't like the way that it went down. You didn't like the way they did it when you was growing up, and you was a victim to it.
Mm-hmm.
The way these traditions were,
Mm-hmm.
and you didn't have a say. And now you get to do things your way. Now you get to be the adult and make the decisions and make the tradition how you want to celebrate it best. Um, so that and the creative part. I like that creative part about it. So when I mentioned, I think the creative part speaks to me
Mm-hmm.
as in terms of like, you know, putting the decorations up and like how am I making it look unique to me and and friends coming over and saying, oh, that's interesting, you did that with that thing. Like I had put I took the Halloween cat one year, like the cat for Halloween, and I put
Mm-hmm.
it as the star of my Christmas tree. Right? Instead of a star, I put that
Oh
cat
wow.
as a cat up there at the tree. But it's
Yeah.
also like, cat be climbing trees
Mm-hmm. They do be
on
climbing trees.
people's Christmas trees and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
They
They
be
do.
climbing, so it's kind of funny to have the cat up there. But it's the
Mm-hmm.
Halloween cat, so it's like scary looking cat on
Mm-hmm.
top of the freaking Christmas tree. I just did that. You know what I mean? It was like it's just a creative outlet.
Mm-hmm.
Bruh, if I had the time and energy, the creative part, but let me send you this joint. Matter of fact, I'm just gonna play this. If I had the time and energy, I don't know. I would. I'm about to show you this video.
That is
Imagine your neighbors, dog.
that's so obnoxious.
Dog, that's creative as hell, though. This nigga
It
got
is.
spotlights,
That's
skylights. Like,
crazy.
see the skylights? That could bring down a plane.
Yeah, yeah, facts. I'm seeing it.
See that beat drop?
Bruh, the fact that it's going on the beach, the lights are dancing according to the beat. So,
Yup. That fool got some time on his hands, boy.
bro, that is. Are those like TVs? What are those things in the?
Bro, the bro got LED lights
got
everywhere.
LED.
Yo, it's like the screens that be at the arena.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And the beat gotta go hard though. The beat gotta go hard. Yeah. Wow, that's impressive.
Bruh.
That's impressive.
That's so it may be challenging.
Yeah.
You have to deal with putting up decorations, but you get an end product that looks like that, bro. You know,
Oh
it makes
yeah, for sure.
it makes it worth it.
I'm
But
giving
me,
I'm giving
little
him
old
a
me,
nod for sure.
I ain't got all that going on. I ain't got
Yeah, yeah. Like that's yeah.
I ain't going all that. Which what I mean. But I appreciate um setting up the space to make it feel like the holidays. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
I appreciated setting up the space to make it look like the harvest season and all that stuff and
Yeah.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
If it is a mood kind of generating thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I appreciate those things, but it's still a challenge. You got to get up and do it because your house is a mess especially transitioning from season to season.
Mm,
Your place is a mess because you got boxes everywhere, getting stuff out of the attic,
mm.
and back up into the attic. So that's the challenge. Is to y'all send me some energy, so I can put the rest of this stuff up,
Yeah.
and then it's gotta come back down at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, man, that's all I got. That was all the news catching up and our main stories. We got a lot in, but I think we did it. Mission accomplished. We gave the folks something to chew on.
Yeah, man. We appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. We definitely gave y'all a lot of game, particularly about the insurance companies and Americans and the vibes that
Americans
they,
really vibing.
yeah, the vibe they love to catch, man. But yeah, we appreciate y'all for tuning in. Again, like, comment, subscribe, man. We
Smash
definitely
that
we
like
definitely would
button.
like to yeah, we definitely would like to hear, especially with a lot of things that we talked about. We definitely would like to hear
Yeah.
your comments on it, your thoughts on it. Smash that like button. Y'all put over 70,000 smiling faces and all that stuff on this
On that
this
one
one post.
dude joint.
Yeah, so yeah, y'all can do us a solid.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all can do us a solid. Like, comment, subscribe. Not making light of it, but you get what I'm saying. But like, comment, subscribe, man. And we appreciate y'all. And again, at another challenge day, that's where you'll find us on every social media handle. Jeff Not Jeffrey, that's Darren Darko. And with all that being said, y'all, stay safe.
On la view, change de tempo.
It's challenge day.